I think my bad word made the live stream intro.
Which one?
I called you guys Fockers. Quiet, Fockers.
Meet the Fockers.
Hey, hi. How you guys doing? It's Fugitive Watch. Mark Hinch, Scott Castrita, Steve Verdeen.
How's everybody doing?
All retired police officers, or two police officers, one highway patrol officer. And we're here going over what's going on at fugitive.com, right? That's what's happening there. And also you could find me at
hey, look at Eastside Tony's on.
Find me at stolen911.com. And yeah, who's on the who's out there today? Eastside Tony, thank you, sir. Cool.
Yeah, he was here last week.
I got my notification. Awesome. Works. We're running a little late tonight. Carmen's birthday.
Happy birthday, Carmen.
Yes, we had to do that. So
Okay.
Scott, let me talk about something real quick. Scott has found Jesus. No, Scott has found the power of YouTube Shorts. What's going on, Scott?
Yeah, no, it's a fun way to share some of the stuff we want to talk about with viewers, and if they're logged into the I hope people enjoy them. I know that shorts are only between 15, the longest they could be is 16, and most of mine are even shorter, are like 15, 13, 20 seconds, but they kind of give you a tease, and I do connect it to, most of them are connected to a larger story. So if you're getting the shorts, there is a full story usually on those shorts.
All right. Well, let's talk about
your madness there.
Yeah, let's go over the first one. Scott, is there good audio on this, or can you talk over it, or what?
Which one we show?
Oh, your girlfriend with the dog.
Oh yeah, not a lot of audio here, but I'll apparently this is I can't say her name. Can you say her name? I'm not good at this. Yeah.
Well, let's see what's going on here. Let's watch the video. This is very popular on our channel.
Logan Guminski.
What's going on, Scott? What happened?
So apparently she was arrested. She's a big time influence on Instagram, and she was basically arrested for puppy love with the Chihuahua.
Alleged puppy love.
Yeah, alleged puppy love with the Chihuahua. She was asked to do it and actually paid money to do it. And yeah,
I thought that was the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah, I guess apparently she found her niche. Hey, Chihuahuas are short. So
hey, what did you? What was the short about? Oh, I didn't even see it.
It really was. There was nothing. It was just her being walked. It was just her being. I know, but I guess it's because of her name. This is it right here. This was in the short right here. Just basically promote.
Well,
telling
Eastside Tony says. Eastside Tony says the shorts are promoted differently. The algorithm.
This is what the East Coast commonly refers to as the perp walk.
Okay, the perp
He wanted to talk.
Is what
you'll
talk about this. What do we have to talk about this case? What's there to talk about?
Well, I mean, what can you say? I mean, apparently she got paid $500. Somebody paid her $500. I guess the video,
Taco Bell.
Yeah, the video was out there, and I did not go looking for it. I wasn't interested in seeing that. Steve said he did go looking for it he said just purely for investigative purposes, but he couldn't find
it. Steve. Okay. Well, all right, let's move on. Let's see. Our next one is SEX with a student. What's going on here?
Here we go. Yeah. This is another one. This is a teacher, and she is for special ed, and her student. I guess she was having relations.
Steve's cringing, by the way.
I'm trying. Allegedly. Okay, allegedly. Just remember, allegedly.
No, he's
Allegedly.
cringing about Eastside Tony, not you, Scott.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh,
All right.
that's a good one. Oh, that's
All right.
a good one.
All right.
So anyway, I guess they got her. I guess the kid was getting a new phone, according to what I read, and so the mom was transferring his stuff out of the cloud onto the new iPhone when she came across a bunch of text messages.
Okay, let's watch this part first. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
I know you're confused. I'll explain everything to you. You don't have anything on you. You can just grab whatever you need.
Whatever I need.
Yeah, whatever you need, like your phone, your purse, go ahead and grab it.
Is she going somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna explain everything to you guys.
That's her husband.
Go ahead and grab out. We're not going anywhere right now. Of course, yeah.
I don't understand what's going on here.
I get it. Yeah, you can go grab your things.
Can he come with me?
Yes.
Does the husband know anything about it?
No.
Apparently not. No.
But he does now.
Stay there right for right now, sir. Just stay there. But yes, you can. But come on back here.
Should I shut the car off?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I love this officer's demeanor.
I wonder if she's like, oh God, they found out, or she has no idea what this is.
I don't think she knows at this point.
We do have an investigation going on. We have to talk to you about it at the police department. Okay. So we're gonna explain everything to you there. It's not my investigation. I don't know the full details. We do have to bring you there, though. Okay. So I do have to put you in handcuffs and bring you to the police department. Just a down drill. Yes, unfortunately, yes.
I'm like willing to go with you.
I get it. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to do it that way. So do me a favor. We just take this off.
Can I ask you what?
Of course, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not my investigation. Obviously, we're here for a reason. So go ahead and turn around for me. So right now you're being detained, and there is a detective that needs to talk to you at the police department.
This officer's nice as pie.
So we'll let if your husband know.
The officer's handling this perfectly. Just by the book.
As well, if he wants to wait for you there.
Say that again.
The officer's handling this perfectly by the book. He's not going to jeopardize the prosecution of the case by giving out any information and getting her upset and having her resist arrest. He's handling it perfect.
Maybe she's got multiple things in her head she thinks that it might be, so she's not sure which one. I don't know.
No, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Mark, because I've talked to criminals before, and after they're reformed, they'll tell you what it's like living in the life of crime, and they tell you a lot of it is that they're so stressed out all the time because in the back of their head, when they may get stopped by the police officer for a traffic violation, but in the back of their head, they're going, "Oh my God, what's he stopped? What does he know about? Does he know about a burglary I did, or a shooting I did, or he's done so many crimes, he doesn't know what the officers are going to talk, why they're
okay. You want to watch this?
All right.
In a few minutes when she
actually finds out. Taco Bell incident I did.
Excuse me, is my husband coming with?
Yes, yeah, he's taking his phone number down. We're staying in touch with him. We're just going to Downer Grove, so 10 minutes away.
No, I know, but I really would prefer that my husband's with me.
Of course.
Am I in trouble? Like I'm so lost right now.
Okay, you're in handcuffs, being detained, brought down to the. I mean, she's asking questions. Maybe she's never been this before, but yeah, you're kind of in trouble right now.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. I think she's kind of realizing that. Oh my God, I think this is what this is about.
They're going to fill you in on everything.
This is where she finds out she's being charged.
You have a leash it down there. Sure you don't want a tissue or something?
I'm feeling I'm gonna throw up.
You want a bag?
Yes, please.
All right. Shauna, can you grab like a bag out of there?
10-4, she's gonna chow.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me she splats all over the camera.
Hey, can you get like a bag just in case she gets nauseous? Yeah. I don't know. Do we have any of those MSS bags like laying around?
Her whole life, man. It's just,
I figure it's something better than
this
nothing.
is it.
Right down the toilet.
Or here, you stay with her. I'll go grab it.
Hey, Scott, what's the proof they got? The text messages, right? Text videos.
Yeah.
Do they go into what the proof is?
I don't think we need to continue watching her suffer like that. We'll talk about.
We'll talk over it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, she's like 30 years old, 31 years old. She this happened in like 23. This was going on, I guess, for a while. And the mom found the text messages, and of course she called the police department. She made a report.
I think the mother also talked to the son, and the son admitted it to the mother.
Yeah. The kid came clean about it, and it was pretty obvious to the mom because of. I won't get into what the text messages said, but she told them how she enjoyed it.
They were pretty incriminating.
Did Steve do investigative research into the text messages?
No, I don't know. I don't know how far Steve took his research.
No, I did not.
So anyway, she got married though in 24, and this stopped in I think in 23. So, but she got married in 24. So I don't know. I mean, it's not. There's no winners here. It's terrible. I think part of what really got me about this was when you read when you read some of the comments, and some of them I had to hide because of the stuff that people were saying, and I know I get it. Everybody's like, oh man, how lucky would you be? Oh man, if I was at, the typical type of comments you'd hear from guys, right? Right. But then some people just put it right out there. They said, hey, look, man, if this was your daughter, or if this was your child that this happened to, what would you want to happen to that man? Yeah. So why wouldn't you want the same thing for her? It's a two-way street there. So I mean, so
Tony says she had notes written on her phone as well as documenting incidents.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, why do you think when she says, I was telling Steve, she's like, well, can I take my phone and stuff? And the officer's like, yeah, you can, because they're going to keep that phone.
Yeah.
You might as well just go ahead and take your phone, and because we're going to be needing that.
Yeah. I actually think, looking at the footage, after you're saying that too, when she doesn't know what's going on, she's not even thinking of that stuff.
I don't think she was.
That happened back then, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to give away, police tactics too much, jeopardizing the other investigations.
Right.
But yeah, that looks like what happened.
Okay. Well, all right, let's move on. This is more of a local one. This is Sacramento. These guys follow the dude home, right?
Yeah. Apparently this guy was at a grocery store or something, and a couple follow him home, and they rob him. I mean, it's a pretty quick video.
Okay, let's watch it real quick.
They rob him in the.
Is there audio?
No, there's no audio.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so guy comes up and basically robs him for his wallet, and it was a boyfriend and girlfriend deal. I'm pretty sure. I haven't found any other information, but I'm going to guess this wasn't their first rodeo. But then they took the guys using his credit cards and stuff and getting gas, and it wasn't too hard for them. Well, I mean, it's good police work. They went out, they did some follow up, and they ended up arresting both of these individuals for robbery. And I think there's $100,000 bail on the male, and I don't think as much on the girlfriend, and she might even be out already. But that's about it.
Did they catch him?
Yeah, they did. They caught him. They caught him within 2 days. Like I said, they were using his credit card. I'm going to guess they went out, they got more video footage, and then obviously probably one of the officers probably knew them. They're, like I said, this is probably not their first time.
I think when they got the surveillance video from the convenience stores where they were using the the credit cards, and some officers recognized them, you know, as
Yeah, and
frequent.
they probably got their actual. They probably got their actual license plates too at that point, because they're probably they probably feel pretty safe that nobody's, you know, there's no other video. But yeah, you know, it's kind of a, I always say, cautionary story or whatever, and it's like, you know, you really got to pay attention to your surroundings. You know, I don't care where you live, I don't care how safe you feel. I know I've gone places, and you know, of course, just based from our background, we're constantly looking around, and I'm not looking to be a victim. And I remember coming home. I used to work midnights, and I almost got robbed at a gas station. And these guys definitely, I knew exactly what they were planning to do. I saw them set me up the whole 9 yards, and you know, I was packing at the time, but I stayed inside the store. I saw exactly what they were going to do if I walked outside to go to my car. And so then I didn't have my cell phone because it was in the car. And so I asked the guy if I could use his phone, and I made it look like I took the phone, and I made them see me on the phone. And I made, you know, I'm looking at their cars and stuff. Man, they got in their car and got the hell out of there.
So when I was in RAD a few years ago, we had a San Jose sergeant. I'm not going to mention the names here. It's kind of the typical mustache, fanny pack wearing dude. He was kind of a interesting guy. And we took a report of a guy who got carjacked at a gas station on Blossom Hill, I think. And the guy came up with him. He was filling his car up, and then as he finished, he went to get in the car, and this guy is there with a butcher knife and just says, "Back away." And we're interviewing the victim when he said that, when we took the interview, and that San Jose sergeant goes, "Oh, I dream of something like this." And I just and even my other sergeant's like, "Dude, relax." You know, so it's like, but I saw the guy in the garage and the girl come up, I think it was the girl came up with a gun. I was
no,
like,
that was the guy. The girl was.
Okay.
Oh no! In your case, case.
No. In this one here, I'm sorry. I just thought, man, you don't know. Yeah, they pulled the gun, but you just don't know who you're messing with.
No, you don't.
You don't know who is packing these days. And one of these, you know,
And
that
you don't
guy
know
would have been totally.
what they're packing.
Yeah, that robber justifiably could have been killed. Justifiably could have been killed right there.
But at the same token, too, it could have turned into some sort of struggle, and that poor man could have been killed right in his driveway.
I know. It's just, but you know, I'm doing the other. You just don't know who you're going to run
Your
into.
wallet
Right?
is not. Your wallet is not worth your life, Mark.
I know that. My point is, though, there are fools on the good side of the people that are dreaming of something like that happening to them, so they can then act out whatever they want to act out. Right?
That's what spend years in court having to justify.
No, I would. You know, if you're going to get robbed like that, just give them the frig what they want.
Yeah,
and you know, and let them go. It's nothing's worth.
Mark, for our non-police viewers, what is RATIF?
What's it again?
I was in RATIF. You said I was in RATIF. For our non-police viewers.
Oh, RATIF was the task force in Santa Clara County Regional Auto Theft Task Force. So yeah, it was one of those back in the day. So Tony's, let's go to Willett's gas station with 4K cameras. They will never catch us there.
Well, Tony, we do only catch the dumb ones, just to let you know.
All right. So let's see. Okay, let's go to Steve. You wanted to talk about this. What's going on here?
Which case is this, Mark?
This is your LA deputy.
Okay, this is a late entry here. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputies Association announced that they're boycotting the annual Baker to Vegas marathon run, where police officers from around the state of California compete in this track event where they run from a city called Baker to Las Vegas in the desert, because that's their only way to protest one of the deputies being convicted in federal court of excessive force, because as police officers, we're not allowed to strike. And there's we're very limited in how we can protest. And so what happened was a sheriff's deputy assigned to Lancaster.
Let's watch the video. Let the video explain
okay.
that part.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Eastside Tony does say, yeah, they have a security guard got robbed, and like we said, total justified shoot. So
okay.
It's leading up to the rough arrest of a woman in a grocery store parking lot in Lancaster. Surveillance cameras show the interaction that prompted store managers to call deputies in the first place.
John Fenolio live in the KTLA Center with new video. John?
Sure, Micah. This controversial arrest has outraged a lot of people who say the deputy's use of force was just not justified. But an attorney representing the deputy involved insists this new surveillance footage not only provides more context, but justifies his client's actions.
It was a violent arrest that LA County Sheriff Robert Luna himself called disturbing. Bystander and body cam video captures a deputy grabbing a woman by the neck and throwing her to the pavement during an arrest. The deputy then pepper sprays the woman before putting her in handcuffs outside the Winco grocery store in Lancaster on June 24th. The woman and another man thought to be related were suspected of shoplifting and fighting with store employees. Sheriff Luna released the deputy's body cam video earlier this month and held a press conference to announce a use of force investigation had begun and that the state's attorney general had been notified.
It's disturbing. There's no ifs and buts about it.
But tonight, new surveillance video from inside the store shows some of what happened before deputies arrived.
It's a little bit disturbing that the sheriff did not or chose not to release this video.
Tom Yu is an attorney representing the deputy involved in the takedown. He released the new footage to KTLA. He says it appears to show the female suspect talking with store security, then shoves one of them as she tries to get around him. Seconds later, she appears to pull down her face mask and spit on the security guard before walking away. Yu says employees then called 911 to report a robbery in progress and that the suspect was fighting with security. He insists those details justify the deputy's use of force.
The deputies knew that there was a robbery that had just occurred. These two people were involved, and that part of their involvement was fighting with loss prevention staff. That's what the deputies heard and saw on their computers inside the car.
So, Steve, talk about officers' mindset going to something like this.
Well, the officers only have the information that they're given, and like the attorney says, they're responding to a violent robbery, and they have to take action. And again, I hate to sound like a broken record. You know, police violence, even when justified, is not a pretty picture, and I don't think it's really fair for the sheriff to say how disturbed he was at looking at the video. I don't know where he was. He was a cop previously, maybe it was Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm or something. But yeah, you pay police officers to be violent sometimes. They have to, you know, that's just the nature of the job, and it does not look pretty.
What's the name of the sheriff again?
Video earlier this month.
He looks familiar to me.
Press conference to announce a use of force.
Or do they all have that
investigation
mustache?
had begun, and that the state attorney general had been notified.
Yeah, he was the chief of police of Long Beach, I think.
About it.
Of Long Beach?
Yeah.
But tonight,
what's his name? Luna?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
About it.
But tonight, new surveillance video from inside the store shows some of what happened before deputies arrived.
It's a little bit disturbing that the sheriff did not or chose not to release this video.
Tom Yu is an attorney representing
Los
the
Angeles
deputy
County
involved in the takedown. He released the new footage to KTL.
I recognize him because he used to be sheriff of LA County. That's why he looked familiar, but you know, he just had that cop mustache. But that's why.
He says it appears to show the female suspect.
Remember, he's the one too, and I could be wrong. Remember all the gang allegations of the LA Sheriff's Department, you know, the gang cops and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, I kind of remember him being around when all that was going on.
Well, that was he ran to and defeated the previous sheriff on that platform that he was.
Was that it?
That he was going to get rid of the gangs in the sheriff's department.
Right. Okay.
Talking with store security, then shoves one of them as she tries to get around him. Seconds later, she appears to pull down her face mask and spit on the security guard before walking away. Yu says employees then called 911 to report a robbery in progress and that the suspect was fighting with security. He insists those details justify the deputy's use of force.
The deputies knew that there was a robbery that had just occurred. These two people were involved, and that part of their involvement was fighting with loss prevention staff. That's what the deputies heard and saw on their computers inside the car, and they were responding code 3, which means with lights and sirens.
But community members aren't buying it and are demanding justice, arguing the use of force was excessive and unnecessary. Yu believes the department's investigation is the result of Sheriff Luna caving to political pressure.
Given those political issues and the political climate of this county, I think he was forced to at least throw my client and other deputy personnel under the bus for something that is completely justified.
You know, I just researched it. Lancaster, it's part of LA County. I didn't even know that. It's way on the other side of the grapevine too. So I didn't realize it went that far north, but he is the current sheriff, and the former sheriff is now the chief of police for LAPD. So, yeah.
Well, you know, one of the things here, I've been watching this thing over and over as you guys are talking.
No, you got it backwards, Mark. The former sheriff, one of the former sheriffs.
I got it right.
He's the chief of LAPD.
That's right. The former sheriff is the chief of LAPD now, the white guy.
Okay.
This guy Luna is the current sheriff of LASD.
Yeah.
But Lancaster is part of LA County. I didn't realize it went that far north.
Oh yeah, it goes way up there to the Los Padres, not Los Padres, but the Angeles National Forest.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about that arrest, and I'm watching it, when they're saying that he grabbed her by the neck or whatever. Well, first of all, they're going into this. They were already told that she probably spit in the face of the security guard. And if you'll notice the way he's hanging on the back of her neck, and I've done that because I've had people spit at me, I've had people try to bite me, and because
you're kind of hot. You're kind of hot, dude. I try to bite you too.
Okay, but not in that text. Okay. Anyway, but context, I should say. Where the head goes, the body follows. The same thing. You're going to grab the back. You're going to grab the back of that head, and you're going to turn that head. You don't want to give her a chance. You already know she spit at the security guard. I'm not letting her spit on me or bite me. And you know, obviously, what really gets me, and I was watching another video today of a similar situation with some local police officers out here. And a lot of this stuff could just be avoided if people just did what they were told and went along with the program. You know, so like you didn't see you didn't see that teacher in the last video get thrown to the ground, right? She turned around, put her hands behind her back. She did what she was supposed to do.
I'm going to let's say those people were falsely detained for shoplifting. And they're combative because I ain't shoplifting Jack. And now they're kind of like, you know, and they get upset, right? And it sucks if they're falsely accused and implicated, and then they're mad. It's just learning to temper that anger, and then it gets blown into, you know, something now way more serious. And then in her anger she spits. There's nothing that justifies that. But I'm just like, God, you know, what if they were just minding their own business? Again, doesn't justify them doing what they did, but then they get accused, and then they're black, so they think, oh, you know, you're picking on us because they're black, and I'm not. I'm just saying that happens to black people, that they may get picked on that way. So, you know, I can see their frustration, but you're right, spitting and shoving and this and that's not the way to handle it. And then it just blows itself out into whatever this is, you know. I'm going to always play the devil's advocate, you know, and, you know, just because people need that voice here, unless Eastside Tony wants to jump in on that. But,
as a police officer with experience, you learn that criminals, they make up stories. They try to distract you. They do. And then next thing you know, you're in a foot pursuit.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. And I just don't know. Were they able to did they actually say they were the shoplifting? Or I thought at the very beginning, they said they were suspected of shoplifting, but maybe even wrongfully accused of it, maybe.
At
the very beginning of the story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there was something there. Anyway,
they probably use the word alleged a lot like we do.
All right. Anyway, well, I know the Baker to Vegas, a lot of the CHP, in fact, all CHP women's team just competed in that.
So,
which I think is illegal now under DEI. But anyway.
He was convicted in federal court of excessive force, and now he's going to wind up going to prison for that.
Maybe not in federal court because
true.
The president loves cops, unless you're Capitol Police, but the president loves cops.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he'll get pardoned.
The wild card.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, unless you're Capitol Police, and apparently you're not real, according to other
or Washington Metro.
Oh yeah, no, they're not real, right? I think we all know people that think they're not real cops.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Okay, let's go.
All right.
America. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna play this one.
Yeah, not a lot of video on this, not a lot of noise. But
my
so this was the Fresno gun. Oh yeah, look at that. That's Fresno Sheriff's Department, and apparently they did a good job. They ended up arresting this guy. Look at that extended magazine.
Yeah.
Hanging out of the gun. So the one thing that I noticed was that what they mentioned in there was that this guy was being held, and the good thing is that he wasn't going to be given bail because of the AB 109. So right away I said, okay, let's look that up. Let's see exactly why it is that this guy isn't going to get bailed. I guess it's a new statute inside the law of not allowing if it's a violent crime or use of with a gun and a sex crime. But then I was thinking about it, like, look at all the videos we show, like the guy that robbed the guy in the driveway earlier, put a gun right in the guy's face, and he had $100,000. He had $100,000 bail. So I was just curious if there's anybody out there that knows more about that. I'd like to know, is that just willy-nilly enforced, or how is it decided whether or not they're going to enact the AB 109? I mean, how is that decided?
I got an idea. Why don't we invite a rep from the district attorney's office on our next show to kind of give us a rundown on the AB 109.
That could do. Yeah. I can work on that. And then Tony saying on the previous thing, and I think he's right. Sometimes people play up the 911 call just to get their cops there quicker. I'm guilty of that myself. I got so frustrated trying to recover cars in Oakland, trying to get the cops to come out to recover a car in Oakland. I mean, I would just, I told people, oh, my car's here and the Oakland won't come out. And I go, all right, next time you call them, just say, did you see someone homeless in it? They go, I did. Okay. Is he there now? I don't know. I said, just say that. Just say you think I'm sorry, but just say that you think there's a homeless guy in it right now. That will get him out quicker, because they don't want a confrontation,
Well,
and
you would hope not.
But I've been sitting out there for 8 hours. We're waiting for the cops to recover the car. That's why we just started recovering ourselves, started taking them ourselves, because these people want to get their cars back before they get destroyed.
Yeah, I talked to a deputy one time who had his car stolen. He found it up in Oakland, and he told me he was trying to get the OPD to go out there so he could recover his car.
Good luck, man.
And the dispatcher told him, hey, you know what? Just go drive it home. She goes, I got 300 pending calls here in the computer. Yeah. She goes, we got nobody to send.
So there I am wasting Oakland's time, right?
Yeah.
But after a while, we just started taking the cars ourselves. Now the Highway Patrol's been working there for a year. They recovered something like 3,000 stolen cars in the last year. Hey, check out the angle of the drawer, right? My brother is a professional camera installer for this. He's got videoprotection.net if you want to look it up. And he would do these stores, but he always taught me that he would go to these 7-Elevens and stuff, and you should put the camera here to see the face of the bad guy. This is back in the 90s and stuff, early 2000s. And the owners were like, no. I want the camera on the register to see my employees stealing from me. And that's what the shot reminds me of. Huh?
Yeah, apparently Apparently, retail theft is they lose more money internally than they do to robberies and things like that.
Tony says had a switch for that extended mag. Maybe that triggered the AB 109 thing. So he's talking about the gun there. Might be an issue there that triggered it. This is his point.
I don't know. I'm just saying that we see a lot of, I mean, we throw a lot of videos up here and I always see these guys getting bail. And of course, you know, we're not anti-bail by any means. I think the bail system is an important, intricate part of our legal system. I think that it is important because I think that it especially when it makes people accountable and make sure that they're going to show up to court when they got grandma's house, you know, up, you know, that can be taken. But there are just some crimes. I don't know why somebody gets bail, why they'll let somebody bail somebody out that they know is probably just going to go right back out and do it again, which often happens.
The full auto switches are kind of easy to do these days too, especially with all the 3D printing and stuff out there. Thanks, Tony. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm going to have a visitor here, I think, in a second, and let's watch some of this first.
Hey, drop the taser. Drop the taser. Or drop it. Drop it. On the ground. Get back. Hey, drop.
He's got a chainsaw in case you're not sure what he's got.
Hey.
He's got a chainsaw and he's in a nursing home.
Drop the chainsaw.
There's people in wheelchairs, elderly people in wheelchairs around him in that nursing home.
Hey, drop it. Drop it.
Okay.
You forgot to turn the gas on.
One taser point. Step up.
Is it just me, or I would have tased him 10 seconds ago?
Thank you. You know,
I don't know. I
said
we've all been taser training. We've all been tased before. I'm like, what? After the fifth drop it, and he's not doing it, and then the first time he tried to start it, that's like
that would have been.
He's got an open chest area there, right? Am I right? Right? Is that his bare chest there?
Yeah, one of the comments on that video is a guy who says the most disturbing thing of this video is what took the officer so long to do something, you know. And again, I don't want to criticize the police officer, but that's like a guy loading a gun in front of you. You know, there's elderly people in wheelchairs. You have this guy acting irrationally with a chainsaw. At what point do you finally take assertive action? But Scott and I discussed this, and again, we think that police officers are being influenced by the. They don't want to be tried in the Facebook court.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, man. He's like, God, if I tase this guy, what are they going to get me on for doing wrong? But
and he falls.
In my training with tasers, and I'm sure you guys too, we all got them on the same time in the mid 2000s. There, I mean, that was pretty straightforward. You know, the commands. We're not shooting them. We're just going to tase them. If it doesn't work, you can drop the taser and pull your gun at that distance, I guess.
Well,
but once that chainsaw starts up, that's a whole different game.
So, you guys, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up.
Let's watch the rest of this real quick.
If you're watching the video, let's see if there's another officer behind him with a gun.
I'll be in the front lobby. Drop it.
Why is he letting them
that
walk
heavy
around?
Jacket, that taser? From what I understand,
come on, now you got to do it.
Where is she? Stop it up.
Done now, right there, bam.
Drop it.
I just want my wife, man.
Is he by himself?
No, there's other officers there.
Taser aboard. Taser. Hey. Hey, right here. He's right here.
See, now you got a fast moving target.
Come on, get him out. Come here.
Oh my God, you got people in wheelchairs around there.
Yes. I think deadly force would have been justified in the first place.
At this point.
Shots fired.
You got a fast-moving target with elderly people surrounding them.
Poor lady in the.
There's a guy downrange.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That is a no fun situation right there.
No. I think deadly force would have been justified when he was trying to start, in my personal opinion.
What's up? Move your.
I think I ran this. I think there's another camera angle, but I'm not sure if I got it on there.
Hey, get out of here.
This guy's pretty upset.
Come here.
Yeah, it's being in a shooting is a very traumatic event.
I think this is a different angle from another officer's. This is the one where I think, Steve, where I think that the second guy, there was a guy on gun when he was on his taser, because I was concerned. You don't. Oh, look, you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't see that in the first part, do you?
No.
No, you did not see that.
You didn't. You did not.
Oh my God, he shot him.
That officer could have been severely injured. Could have lost an arm
Dude,
from that chainsaw.
Check this shot out right here, Scott. There's Steve. There's a guy in a wheelchair right next to him.
Yeah.
And there's a guy. There's a guy
Downrange.
down here. No, is it empty?
No, there's somebody back there.
This guy just walks away like, okay. I'm sorry we laugh, but the person in the wheelchair is like, beep, beep, beep.
I'm going to tell you, that was intense, and I watched it several times because to break it down, Mark, I was trying to figure out why the guy was on taser for so long. And I think you could pause it right there or turn the sound down. Because first of all, a taser is not a replacement for a gun. Okay, especially when you're dealing with somebody like this, and you're in a life and death situation. But it appears to me there was a guy on gun, which is proper procedure. Guy on gun covering the guy with the taser. But this first video, when I first watched it, and then I saw him shoot, I thought, wow, okay. But then when you watch the second body camera video and you see the guy run at him with the chainsaw, it completely made sense. But
that whole thing is just wild.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. All right, let's I'll pull this next one up here.
Mark,
go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know if you're using if you're following the email I sent you with the list of the stories. If you can pull up the Newhall incident anniversary story, I'd like to do that one before we end the show.
The Newhall one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Concord, California.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is a very intense video. These officers do a hell of a job, and I'm a little disappointed about some of the comments that I saw people making, because again, people not understanding how dangerous. And I know that it seems like every week we're showing videos of officers being confronted with a knife. So here's the call. Apparently, they got a call that somebody is stabbing stabbing somebody with a knife here.
All right, here we go.
And they kick the door open and go.
All right, this is back in February of this, just a couple months ago.
Nathan, Concord Police. Hey, drop the knife. God damn it. 4 shots fired.
Gets worse.
Get Fuck. Sir. Get away, get away, get away, get away. Sir, where are you stabbed?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, God.
Look at them all. They're standing there going, what just happened?
Yeah.
Code 3. Any metal come in.
That one officer did the shooting. He was large and in charge through the whole video here. I tried to fast forward to get a different angle from another camera angle, so it was kind of hard to do. But
Sir, where are you stabbed? I don't know.
Wow. Well, that's
so
what's the status of the case? Is it still under review or what?
you know, I'm not sure. It's probably still under review. Yeah, I thought I showed a picture of the knife this guy had. It wasn't a pocket knife. This thing was one of those big old butcher knife, like we've seen in all the other videos in the last few weeks that we've been sharing.
Like a big kitchen knife, yeah.
From what I saw, twice being told to stay down, twice after being shot, and then come up for a third time, right? Am I right? Is that what I just saw? I think that final put down was justified.
Yeah, and I watched
my interpretation of it.
If you watch from the other body camera angle, I was trying to get that in there. I don't know if I did a very good job of it. You see the guy come up with pointing the knife at the officer or towards the poor victim on the ground, and he ends up. That's why he ends up shooting him again. But you'll see him holding that. Yeah.
Is there one more? Is there 3 videos?
Oh,
there's 3 videos. Okay. Yeah, right there.
Right there. Look at that. And
that's before the final shoot, right?
How many times had this guy been shot? And that's what we tell people all the time. You really need to understand. And a lot of the training we had was it's not like the movies where you shoot somebody and bam, they fly back, go through the door, go through the windows, and that's over. No, they still got time to bleed out, and they can still fight you. And I mean, other than you get a good headshot in there and knock them out cold. But you know, these guys. I mean, look at this guy. After how many times had he already been shot? And look at his moxie. He's still going to come up with that knife.
Many a police officer has lost their life by somebody that they shot with a killing shot, who lived long enough to kill the officer before he died.
If you find anybody knows what happened with this, please let us know, because that is, like I said, I think I don't have a problem with it at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, part of the reason I wanted to show it was because, like I said, every week it seems like I find another intense video. And remember, a couple weeks ago, the guy closed in on him and slit his throat and killed the police officer.
Steve, where did you send me? Steve, where did you send me? I'm sorry, Scott. Steve, where did you send me the Newhall?
There's the email I sent you that said stories for the show. 425. It should be in there.
Okay, I'm sorry, Scott. Keep going. 725. 720.
No, I'm just saying that how many the reason why we show these is not because I'm trying to justify every shooting. I'm trying to justify but when you're in an intense situation like that, when somebody's standing there with a knife like that, you look in their eye and you know they want to stab you, and understand too, a bulletproof vest does not stop a knife.
Every time we show these, Scott, there's always somebody. Why didn't they shoot the knife out of their hand? You know, why did they have to shoot him so many times? You know, why didn't they give him a warning shot? I mean, just people who are some of them are they're just unaware of the facts of life.
Well, that was the other thing too, is they go, why did he have to shoot so many times? Now I was a little confused. I've watched it a few times, but it looks like the first officer shot twice, but I think there was a different shooter the third time, from a different angle, is what way it looked to me when he came up again with the knife. I mean, this guy just wasn't going down. It was like you watch these Walking Dead movies and stuff, and you think, man, I mean, what's it going to take for this guy? I mean, he obviously at that point just he was running on pure hate and adrenaline. Don't know why he was stabbing the family member. Apparently, it was a family member that he was stabbing.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah,
so.
I think we showed one a few weeks back also that happened up in Utah or somewhere. It was similar, where they were stabbing a family member, and the officers had to use deadly force. Were you able to find one? Oh yeah,
Steve was talking about this incident here. As a highway patrol officer, you're kind of ingrained with this, and law enforcement in general changed in the early 70s because of this. The Newhall incident, if you drive through Newhall, like where Magic Mountain is, you'll see the Newhall CHP, and where 4 officers were killed on one day, one incident. It really kind of changed procedures on how felony stops are conducted. And I will say this, officers of that time at the CHP Academy, from what I remember, one of the stories was that they were trained to, instead of letting your brass drop out of your revolver onto the ground, just to save time or make cleanup goes, you're trained to recover your brass in your hand during the range and then put them in your pocket. And I could be wrong, but I believe one of these officers, the dead officers, they found the brass in his pocket.
I heard that.
And that was kind of things that back then they just didn't realize, that the muscle memory of training, you're getting shot at and you're still dropping brass, taking the time to put the brass in your pocket, right? That's just kind of
weird. I've heard that
anybody who's been law enforcement since then, knows that you let your brass drop, right? And then you keep shooting. But
yeah, this is the 55th anniversary of the Newhall incident, and I remember I started in 74.
Steve was a sergeant by then, that same year.
and they were still the law enforcement was still traumatized by this incident.
Yeah.
And in the basic police academy, they were still just drilling that into you, obviously officer safety at the range.
Right. Yeah, you can go to fugitive.com. This is a 20-minute video.
Yeah,
but it goes through the whole incident, of the car stop and where everything happened right there by the 5 freeway. Interesting enough, my first, Harry Ingalls was my first senior sergeant. I transferred to West LA, and he was the S1, the most senior sergeant of the office at West Los Angeles. And he was one of the responding officers. And in the book, the Newhall incident, he's mentioned he was on scene as one of the responding officers. He's working that shift that night with these guys. So he was there, and he'd always tell us about it, in briefing and stuff like that. He retired a couple of years after I joined, but it was sad to hear it, but it was always good perspective to hear it from his point of view, because he went through that training where that's the way they trained us, And
Mark, I remember that law enforcement did a lot of self-reflecting after this. I remember that we used to have masking tape around the shotgun, and if you took the shotgun out and you racked it and you broke the masking tape, you had to write a memo. And after law enforcement started doing a lot of changes to say, no, that's not a good idea, because you're discouraging the officers from taking their shotgun out when they think it's necessary, because they don't want to have to write a memo.
Kind of like that officer with the taser just now. It almost seemed like he was kind of hesitant to take the guy, to at least tempt the taser, and it's like,
I think when you see stuff like that, when you saw that sheriff throw his officer immediately under the bus, and when you see cities throwing the officers under the bus, and as we saw just watching the video of the chainsaw incident, at first you're like thinking, okay, why is he shooting the guy? Like the guy's running away. Okay, until you see it from the other angle, and he runs at the officer with that chainsaw. Yeah. No, he means to do harm.
Yeah.
Mark, it's easy for us to sit there with years of experience and second guess. We're watching a live video and run it through the head. I remember the San Jose officer, good guy. I know him. I met him once or twice. The guy who killed the lady with the Vietnamese peeler, but looked like a knife, right? Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
He shot, killed her. There was a lot of turmoil about that. I was around an older officer at that time that said, maybe someone might have a different officer, different experience might have handled it a little bit differently, but as a justified shoot, it was justified because of the distance, the size of the peeler, you know. But a different officer is going to handle things differently. You know, your experience is going to come into play, but again, justified. You're within so many feet. It's a knife. Doesn't matter if you're a short 5'2" woman or a 6'5" guy. I mean, it's still deadly, right?
Yeah. And Mark, and again, on the other side, the flip side of that coin is this was 55 years ago, and I still have it burned in my memory. In the police academy, when I went, they showed us the photographs of the 4 officers in the morgue in their uniforms laying on the tables.
Yeah, it's in the book. It's in the New Holland Senate book.
Oh, is it? I did not know that. Yeah, and I was in shock when I saw that.
I used to have a copy of the book. In fact, I think I had Harry sign it. It might be in a box in my garage, or I may have given away for a charity or something like that too. I think I might have given away at a charity event, one of the 1199 things. But I had Harry, my sergeant, sign it for me because we all bought it. We all bought the book at the academy, you know. And like you said, it really changed felony procedures.
Yeah, there's another story, another CHP related story, Mark. I don't know if we have time to pull it up. A police explorer in the city of Merced stopped on the freeway to help what he thought was just a 1182 accident on the side of the freeway. Turned out to be a drunk driver, and then another drunk driver wound up crashing into him and the other crash.
Oh, I've personally been a victim of that. We're going to stay away from that one because we're going to watch this old video from a couple months ago.
Okay.
That Scott put on here. And this is our buddy here with the CarMax. Scott, this is like 3 or 4 months old now, I think.
Yeah. Steve called me today. He wanted to, he found this cleaner video. A lot of the videos that people were showing were really grainy and small, and they weren't really. So Steve asked me if I could.
Here it is.
Get this.
I told you, mother.
Whoa! Oh, shit.
Call the cops.
So he's basically returning it, right? He didn't like it.
He took his car in to get it appraised to sell it to CarMax, and he did not like the price the price they offered him. So he decided to just crash into the showroom, and he wound up sending 8 people, customers and employees, to the hospital. One woman was in a coma with a brain injury.
We've all dreamed about it.
It's my Tesla. My Tesla is going to kick into gear one day. My Tesla's great. Now I look like every other douche driving around. As an undercover PI, man, I can blend in with all the other douchebags. It was so cool a year ago. Now it's like a total douche vehicle.
I know. The other day, I was going one direction. You were going the other. We were talking on the phone. You were tailing somebody.
I said, look at this. I go, look at the fool in this.
Is that you?
I go, look at the fool in this big old truck. Oh, that's you. Never mind.
I kept going, is that you? No. I go, well, I just saw 3 cars that look exactly like yours.
No, everyone's got a Tesla. I know. I was in Mountain View, and I saw one with the Elon/no Elon sign on the back, or fell F Elon, yeah. You know, felon.
But Mark, what's going on in what's going on in this guy's life that he did not like the price they offered him, and he would resort to doing something like this? I just don't get it.
Some people just, everybody has a different snapping point, right? And I know I certainly threatened back in the day to run my truck through the showroom floor of
Did
I
you?
told him oh yeah, I'll have to show you. I got pictures of it with all I have like 50 tags on the side of it with it all the times it was in the shop, and I had a big lemon in the back of the truck.
That's why Scott never took his psych exam. Retired.
I parked it over at the dealership, and yeah. I was
Eastside Tony. Eastside Tony says, "Have you ever seen Falling Down?" That's a Michael Douglas movie. Remember? The guy, the defense contractor dude, just loses it.
Yeah.
Well, look I'm going to say something about Eastside Tony real quick, dude. You own the comments tonight, bro. You were. It's all you. I don't know. We came on a little late.
My favorite was the sour cream, but I won't tell you. I think that was my favorite.
Well, we came on late. That was my fault, and we lost our other regular 4 people. So we're working on it. But the shorts, that's going to be good. A lot of these get made in shorts, or at least we'll shorten the videos and put them out there too. Tony, thank you very much. Yeah, he knows he's owning it. So we'll be back on next Monday. Should be regular time next week, 7:00. But maybe we might start doing maybe another one during the week. We'll see if we can get our schedules together and stuff like that. Other than that, make sure you check out the website fugitive.com. Scott, Steve are there. They're also on Facebook and Instagram. And then if you need a private investigator, you can find me at Stolen 911. Just go ahead and Google it. And right now, guys, I am doing besides all my cars and stuff, I'm doing a lot of child custody and some alimony related cases. And they're pretty interesting, actually. So I saw Scott the other day when I was down on Hollister. So if you need a private investigator, give us a call. That's it. I thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Let's remind all of our viewers that anybody that you see on any of our platforms that will be considered innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. And if you recognize any of the fugitives, do not make any attempt to arrest, apprehend, or detain them. Some of them might be considered extremely dangerous by law enforcement.
And if that being said, if someone will not drop the chainsaw and they're acting crazy and there's a bunch of old people that he's threatening in wheelchairs and he makes, 5 to 6 attempts to continue to start the chainsaw, I say take the shot before he gets it started.
At least a tase. And Tony, if you want to send us anything, you can always send stuff to tips at fugitive.com. PIPS at fugitive.com. And that'll come to both Steve and myself.
Yeah, and the info's on the screen. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye, Tony.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.